This is Pat Salber with Health Innovation Media, and I have with me today Karl Martin from Bionym. Am I saying it right?
Yes, that's correct. Yeah.
And we're here today to talk about the Nymi. And I said, "Show me one." And what did you say?
Yeah. Well, I said we're in the beta stage, so we're I mean, you can actually see the Nymi here, but this is a model which is non-functioning. But we're putting out developer units, which are not quite like the final units, but it's pretty soon. So this next year is when we're actually putting the product
So I'm
out.
going to stop you there because what I really want to get to
Yep.
is I got an email from your company telling me what
Yeah.
you were up to, and my husband and I are both doctors, and I read this thing and I said, we're using EKG to do personal identification. I said, what? How could that be? Tell me, how can that be? How can you use my EKG
Right.
to determine who I am?
So, I mean, this is a signal that your body is producing that has unique features based on your physiology. All of our bodies are different. So, based on the size of your heart, the position of your heart, and the surrounding physiology, there are unique aspects of the wave that reflect that unique.
Is it as unique as my fingerprint?
So we've determined that it is about as unique as your fingerprint. So on the scale of uniqueness, where face recognition is actually one of the lower ones, we're a lot more unique than face, and just a little bit under fingerprint.
And what about retina? Everybody's talking about,
Yes.
oh, we're going to do a retinal scan.
Yeah, that's actually the most accurate. It's actually the iris that is used that is the most accurate. The problem with using something like the iris is that it's not very convenient from a day-to-day perspective, right? You have to stick your head in front of a camera. What we're doing is the idea that you could wear something that always knows who you are, and enabling all sorts of new
So
applications.
tell me quickly how this works. I buy my Nymi for
Yes.
a whole bunch of money from you, so you guys can have a
That's very
successful
reasonable,
company.
yeah.
Good. I mean, this was a good
Yeah,
move on
yeah.
my part. And now I have this thing. So what do I do with it?
So first you have to register it. I mean, it needs to enroll your biometric information so that it can recognize you at a later time. So the wristband has electrodes in it to capture ECG. And the first time you use it, you put it on and you're touching it, and it takes about 2 minutes. We capture 2 minutes worth of data to learn who you are. And then now that the system knows who you are, when you use it in the future, essentially you put it on at the beginning of the day, you touch it now just for 3 or 4 seconds. It authenticates your identity by comparing to that sample we captured before, the 2 minutes. Now it activates, it knows who you are. For the rest of the day, you can forget it. You wear it.
So what if I want to be you? Can I just grab your Nymi and use
So,
it?
so first of all, if I've activated mine and it's on me, as soon as you say rip it off of my wrist, it will be deactivated. So now you have to pretend to be me, and so we call that spoofing. To spoof my biometric is something that we've determined that is very difficult to do. As a security company, we never say never, but like fingerprint, which takes a lot of effort to essentially pretend to be someone else, this is actually even harder because your ECG is not something that anybody can just look at and say, I want a copy, like a fingerprint you leave on the table.
Right.
So for someone to replicate your ECG is a pretty hard thing to do.
And so I might want to have one of these things so I can get rid of all those passwords that I can never remember, and I always have to change, and then I can't remember them because I just changed them.
Yep.
What else am I going to be able to do with
Yep.
this?
So we like to think of all the things that now are possible because identity is easy. Right now, identity is hard. To prove yourself with a password or a PIN is a lot of work. So if you're wearing something that is always able to essentially present your identity to a service or device, now you can have a very personalized experience. So if you think of hospitality or retail, where if you walked in, they can now know who you are when you walk in. A restaurant knows your allergies, make sure your food is exactly the way you like it. So we think of, by making identity easy, you can now have a really personalized experience in a variety of environments.
So there you go, guys. It's the end of privacy for all those people who don't really care about privacy anyway. So when is it going live? A little bit about how much it costs, and what are your plans for the future with this?
Right. So we're actually just putting out developer units in the next month. This allows people to write applications for it. The beauty of this is all the different things that you can use it for. The full units that the average person can get is around mid-year. We're looking to put them out. I think the really interesting things are the kind of partnerships, those things like retail, hospitality, travel. We're going to be doing a lot of work there.
Passports.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, all the times you have to prove your identity and how painful that is, that's where we're working. Also, we're looking at different form factors. It doesn't have to be a wristband. You know, we're thinking of necklace, waistband, different form factors for different preferences.
Okay. Well, it's really been, what can I say, very interesting talking to you. And I wish you a lot of luck with this. And I want to know when the Nymi comes out because I think I want to get one of these.
Great. I will let you know.
Okay.
You'll be the first one.
Terrific. Thank you very much.